Welcome to this Advent devotional series. This is day 7 of our series. I am Reverend Lester Spees, and I have the privilege of serving as pastor at Memorial Lutheran Church in Glendale, Wisconsin. During this Advent season, I will be reflecting on some tough questions that come from Scripture and on some sacred spaces that have helped me to respond to those tough questions. Thank you for joining me in this journey. This devotion is for Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. And our scripture question comes from Matthew chapter 5, verses 46 and 47. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet only your brothers and sisters, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? As a high school student, I was always looking out for opportunities for growth and ways to challenge myself, especially if I thought those things could help me to become a better student at the time and a better pastor in the future. One of the things that I tried to do was get involved with the high school one-act play. Each year, the school performed a one-act play for a district competition and for the students at the school during a spring assembly. I thought it might be fun to learn more about getting up in front of people in order to use my voice to project and convey a message with meaning. I did not have a lot of experience at this kind of thing working with the farm animals. So the one act play seemed to be a perfect way to get some of that experience. I went to auditions my freshman, sophomore, and junior years in the hopes of making the cut. Each year, I stayed after school for the auditions, and each year, I looked at the cast list that was posted the next day, only to discover that I was not selected to be a part of the play. I was a slow learner when it came to some things, and this was one such area. It took me 3 years to figure out the pattern that the teacher who directed the play had her favorites, and she only selected the same 5 or 6 people each year. No one else had a chance to be a part of the learning experience because no one else was a part of the select crowd. I finally figured it out in time for my senior year. I decided I would not go through the disappointment of failing at the process for a fourth time. But then I heard some new pieces of information. The previous select group of actors had graduated, so there was no predetermined cast this time around. The previous director had left the school, so a new teacher was in charge of the play in my senior year. And word on the street was that she was going to do things differently. So I tried out, along with about 20 other students who similarly felt outcast from the system for years. The new teacher went with a totally different approach than previous leadership. She decided to find a play, Caucasian Chalk Circle, that worked for 20 people, thus giving everyone a part. This approach was quite effective. Some of our actors won awards, and the group became alternate for the regional competition. It was one of the best results that our high school drama group had in years. It turned out that including everyone who was passionate about acting, regardless of talent, experience, or name recognition, could be a formula for success. along with a little help from a great director who cared and wanted to support a group of passionate students. When I started college, I resorted back to being that guy who was afraid of failure in the audition process. I didn't do another play until my sophomore year at Texas Lutheran. And then I did it only because the senior theater major who was in charge of the play was a friend of mine and asked me to play the specific part of Dr. Einstein in the classic Arsenic and Old Lace after the auditions were complete and not enough guys tried out for the play. Not having the pressure of going through an audition made it much easier to say yes. After that, I did a few more productions before graduating, including playing the lead role in Simple Simon, a children's theater production based on the famous nursery rhyme. We got to perform the play for area elementary school students who came to the campus during the school day to watch the play. I got to play Simon. It helped that I looked young for my age and could pass as a middle school youth, even though I was in college. Although I like to hope that was not the only reason I was selected for the part. The stage at the Hallettsville High School auditorium and the stage in the Wupperman Little Theater at Texas Lutheran taught me a lot of important lessons for life and ministry. I learned that including as many people as possible, instead of working with a limited group of select favorites, can lead to some of the greatest successes. I learned that you should not give up on your passions, even if you got a lot of rejections along the way. One day, it just might work out for you. But perhaps most importantly, I learned how wonderful it is to work with people who were not part of my usual crowd. There were not a lot of theology majors or New Testament Greek enthusiasts among the acting community, and that was wonderful. I got to meet people from different backgrounds who had different worldviews than my own. And I know that helped me to be a better person and a better pastor as a result. In the process, I gained a few vocal skills and communication insights as well. Above all, I am thankful for the people who gave me the opportunity to break into acting and for the people who mentored and helped me along the way. And I am grateful for the places where God made these lessons happen.